Hey there, Sheree here. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome, welcome. If you're returning, I appreciate you for your continued support. Today I'm here to share, as I promised in the video that I uploaded, should have been on Friday, but if I hit a snag, it went up on Saturday. But I shared with you all a sneak peek, well, actually just the fabrics that I used for my August Fabric Mart Fabricista makes. I shared 2 fabrics with you guys just to give you a little sneak peek of what I made up and submitted for my August blog post, which is actually live today, August the 28th. And so I will be sure to put a link in the description box to my blog post write-up, which is over on the Fabricista blog. Yeah, so you can read more about some of the changes that I made, my impression of the pattern, etc. So today I'm here to show you what the makes look like on, and let me know, actually, first of all, which pattern I use. Let's start with that. So I'm going to share with you the pattern that I used. I'm going to share the 2 makes that I submitted and wrote up. And then, as promised in that last video, I'm going to share with you fabrics that I've selected to make a couple more. My intention is to make 2 more. Yeah, so we'll see. But I pulled a couple of fabrics because honestly, I'm having trouble deciding, narrowing down. I don't need 4 of these. I pulled 4 fabrics. I really do want a solid, like another solid one, like a dark solid that I can wear into the fall, maybe in like black or navy. But I'm still thinking about that. But anyway, let's get into it. So the pattern that I used, and I'm wearing one of the makes, I used the Wildwood Wrap Dress Pattern from Sew House 7 Patterns. And I've actually had this pattern for a while, and I've been wanting to sew it up for a long while. I've seen so many gorgeous makes of this on Instagram over the years, and I kept saying, I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna make it. I finally bought the pattern during one of Fabric Mart Fabric's pattern sales, and they don't do them that frequently, but I did catch one, and I think they were like 40% off or something. And I got a bunch of the independent patterns that I had been eyeing. I think I've shown you guys some of them in a couple of hauls, but I really want to try to work through some of those. But anyway, this was the first pattern that I've ever sewn from this company, though I've known about them, I think actually since they launched. But yeah, it's my first time actually sewing a Sew House 7 pattern, and I have to say, I absolutely love this dress. It is comfortable. I think that sometimes some of the issues I have with some of the independent patterns that I see, it's like they're very basic, and so you know, I would just go to the big 4 for a basic pattern. So I really try to focus on buying independent patterns that actually have some unique style to it, something that you're not going to see coming from the big 4. And that was the main thing that drew me to this dress. Most of the makes that I saw it sewn up in were in linen, so I knew, and I just love the way it looks. That's actually what they show the pattern on the cover, is sewn up in a linen. And so I knew that I wanted to use a linen when I tried it, and I used these 2 gorgeous linens, one printed, the one I'm wearing, and then that solid terracotta one. And so yeah, I love everything about it. I sewed it straight as the pattern suggested. It comes with a booklet. Let me just show you. Comes with a really nice instruction booklet. It's very detailed. You know, I'm not a beginner sewer, but I didn't have, there was nothing in there that was like a new concept to me as far as the sewing went. So it came together quite easily. I think it is a beautifully drafted pattern. Every notch, every marking, everything matched up perfectly when I went to sew it up. I love the way it's faced. I love the cut of it. The proportions were right. So I didn't have to do any grading out at the hips. And like I said, it's very comfortable. So let me just get into showing you guys the two makes. So the first one that I made was with this kind of terracotta colored 100% linen. That's obviously from Fabric Mart Fabrics. And yeah, so that was like my first one. I was trying to figure out the sizing and the fit and how it would work out. So I do what I always do when I really want to make sure I have a good fit, especially at the bottom, is I just measured the pattern pieces, took out the seam allowance, and then figured out like, okay, this size should be right for me. And that's why I didn't need to grade anything out. And so, yeah, I just cut right into it. I did the pockets, which is how the pattern is designed. And it's a really nice pocket. There's no problem. It's just for me, I think because I'm hippie and I carry a little bit of extra weight on my tummy, it was like the pocket wasn't laying completely flat. And that bothered me a little bit. I made some adjustments. I kind of tacked it down a little bit more so that the pocket opening was even a little bit smaller, just a tad smaller. I'm probably not going to use the pockets. But yeah, that's the only thing I did to try to get them to lay a little bit flatter. But you know, if you have a little bit of weight in your midsection, you know, the pocket, that area is always just gonna poof out a little bit. And so when I made this one, my second version, I eliminated the pockets. And in the blog post, I show you the pictures and talk you through what I did to eliminate, basically to modify the pattern so that I didn't have a two-piece pocket front kind of situation where it was just a plain skirt. So that's the only modification I made for the second one. So again, this is the first one I made in the terracotta linen. I love it. I showed you really close-up details of this linen in my last video that's uploaded. I'll link to it at the end of the video or in the description box in case you missed that. But this fabric is actually woven with two different color threads. So yeah, it's a really interesting, it's not a flat solid terracotta. It has a goldenrod yellow fiber woven into it as well. So it really gives it just a very cool look. So yeah, anyway, love that. And then the one I'm wearing is that same kind of fabric, except for it's printed on one side. And so it has kind of like a lilac purplish color with a bluish color thread woven through it. And so it's solid on one side, and then it's printed with this light dainty floral on the other side. And yeah, I love everything about it. And you can see here in the pictures, and with this one, I eliminated the pockets so it just laid a little bit flatter and better for me. One thing I will say is that, you know, when you sit down, because of the asymmetric front, it does open a little bit. It exposes basically my right knee, but it's not like, you know, flashing anything. I am completely covered up into the knee basically. And so just check your sizing on that, making sure you get the wrap, you know, as full as you want to. But yeah, for me, I didn't have to do any kind of modification there. Yeah, and I cut sleeve version B, which, you know, you can roll up if you want to. I don't have it rolled up right now. But otherwise, yeah, just straightforward. Actually, I did the sleeve version and the length of view B. So it's the longer length and the longer sleeve. So yeah, beautifully finished. There's French seaming basically in the bodice. And so it just looks really beautiful on the inside. I think when I make my next ones, I'm going to actually French seam the skirt seams as well, just to complete that out and make it just an incredibly lovely finish completely on the inside. That was one of my favorite things, was how everything came together and was finished so nicely on this bodice portion. So yeah, those are the two makes that I submitted for my blog post. And as I said, I will be linking in the description box to the blog post if you want to head over and read that and see some of the pictures and see that detailing of how I eliminated the pocket. Now let me show you the 4 fabrics that I pulled. And like I said, I'm going to try to choose 2 of them to make up the next ones. I pulled this cotton here. I shared this in a spring mix video. I got this fabric on Etsy, and I'll try to remember to put the link to this fabric, at least to the store, in the description box. You know, sometimes they sell out and you may not be able to find this, but the store I bought it from, they had so many gorgeous prints. But I definitely want to sew this one up. I think this could be a really, really fun, interesting looking dress made with this all over print. And so I want to make this, and I think I'm going to make view A. So you see here, view A is the shorter length and the more cap sleeve. So I feel pretty strongly that this is going to be the fabric that I use for one of them. And then this is where I'm stuck, is choosing the second print. I pulled this one, which I have had for a really long time. I can't remember if I got this from Mood Fabric or from Fabric Mart Fabrics. It's from one or the other. But it's actually a cotton fabric, but it has like a silk-like finish. It's so, so gorgeous. And I don't know, I feel like I want to try something where the fabric isn't quite as stiff, where it has a little bit more drape to it. And so that's what these other fabrics that I pulled. I think they're going to be a little bit more drapey. And I think I want to do the longer length and the longer, but the shorter sleeve if I choose this one. The pattern says that if you use like rayons or anything like that, any fabrics with more drape, if you use that for the longer sleeve, they're not actually recommending it that you use it for the longer sleeve, actually, because it's harder to roll it up. So yeah, like I said, I didn't even roll mine up, so I don't know. But I don't know, I kind of want to use this for that dress. I think it could be really interesting looking, especially as I transition into fall. Also, this dress uses a lot of fabric, so I had to pull prints that I have at least 4 yards of it, and so for that longer length. And so the next 2, these are ones actually that were in one of my most recent Joann Fabrics hauls, and I figured, you know what, why not give these a whirl? I think that this would be a really pretty one to transition into fall. Again, making it long and with that short sleeve. I almost feel like too, I could actually hack the sleeve and make the sleeve, you know, like a 3/4 length sleeve. That could be something interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Because I feel like for fall, well, we'll see. Because this one, this is the other one that I'm thinking about. And I shared this with you guys recently too. And this is a rayon kind of fabric that I got at Joann's. And I think this would be lovely too. This one, actually both of them, now that I think about it, it probably would make sense to go ahead and do it with a short sleeve. Do the longer length, but do it in the short sleeve. Because I do have that sweater fabric, that off-white sweater fabric that would go with both of these, but mainly I got it to go with this one. And so if I had the shorter sleeves, it would be easier to layer the cardigan that I plan to make over top of it. So that's where I am. I think, yeah, I feel like I'm leaning towards one of these 2 for that reason. Because then I could make like a cardigan to wear over top of it, and I think that could be like a nice look. So I don't know, I need your help. You guys let me know in the comments, which of these 3 do you think I should use for dress number 2? What would be your vote? Let me just show you that sweater fabric one more time so you can try to visualize what I'm talking about. So here's the sweater fabric. And so what do you think about me making this dress and then layering a cardigan over top of it for fall. Would that be too much? Because I do, whatever I make with these two prints, I do want to have the cardigan over top. So anyway, help me out. Let me know your thoughts. And so yeah, that's it today. A really quick one. I just wanted to share my impressions of this make. I mentioned in my last video that this is one of my favorite things that I've sewn this year, and it really is. It was really a pleasure to sew a garment that had such nice construction, that came together so easily. I loved working with these really like luxury linen fabrics. The hand sewing them it was just, you know, when you're working with great fabric, great materials, it's just so nice. So yeah, I thank you guys for watching. I would love to hear from you guys in the comment, in addition for letting me know which fabric you think I should use. Let me know if you've used this Wildwood Wrap Dress Pattern before, or any other Sew House 7 patterns. I have several more from them, and now I'm ready to cut into those as well, because I'm so excited about how these dresses turned out. Yeah, let me know your thoughts about this pattern company, if you've used them before, and if you have some favorites from their pattern collection. Oh, I should say one more thing. I forgot to videotape, like, so you could see me twirling in these two dresses, because I was just focused on getting pictures for the blog post, because that's picture form. And so when I get these dresses made up, in that video I will model all the versions in video so you can see how it moves, and you can better see what I was talking about with the pockets, etc. Okay? All right, see you guys soon. Bye now.